Well, the man who was a victim of his own circumstances when he was attacked for playing the same song on out-of-tune guitar for 30 days. But what if it was in tune? 30 days listening to the same song is too much time. Are you listening, radio? Are you ready to just kill another TV star and get away with it, you son of a bitch? Will he use his guitar and finally get a second hit wonder? Or will he get his revenge in the form of a swan song? Let's get to the man who will tell us this story. And he moves his life forward by never losing his parking spot downtown, Uriah Wesman. Fantastic. Yes, this is part 3. Part 3 of the spooky edition of the Friday the 13th Uriah Jokes. We got 7 people watching the first one, so that means we got renewed for 10 more of these. One every day till Halloween, then Halloween we're gonna have an amazing one. So only can go uphill from here because I live on a hill, and that hill is made from the tears of my life. But this man was beaten with broken bottles. Bottle after bottle. And we gotta get this guy a name. We can't keep saying amen. What are we, Tenet? What's a horrible name? Uriah? Beat you to the punch, audience. No, we can call him Keith. Keith. That sounds awful in the headphones and awful in your mind, which makes it abundantly clear we have to pick this one, and it's appropriate. So, after Keith failed at the open mic, after only failing once, he decided the only way for the path forward is redemption, is to play the song for each of the 12 counselors. He's the 13th counselor, Friday the 13th, full circle. But his first journey is taking him to Las Vegas. If you're like Uriah, we already know this. This is called a recap. You can always move it forward. You know how to use the internet, you morons. It's 1985 Las Vegas. Vegas in 1985 wasn't a lot different than it is now. Was it a modern day time warp, where day is night, night is day, bribe a cop and get on with your day. That was the Vegas slogan back then. What happens here stays here was born from card counters getting beat up in the back alley for winning. That's what casinos did when people won. This is ridiculous. I only got that from the movie 21 though, and that's a factually accurate movie with nothing wrong with it. But Keith was planning on giving each one of the counselors a chance to listen to his new song. Let bygones be bygones, whatever the hell that means, or they will face his wrath, which arguably could be his song or murder. They're both awful and both make you want to die. But his song, his awful song, that's what happens when you don't have 34 writers and producers on one song. Are you listening, Spotify? You gotta have 34 writers on one 3-minute song. It's just how it works. So the guy needed a car when he got to Vegas. And back then you couldn't rent cars because people were superstitious about lending things out. That's why Airbnb didn't exist. People didn't like lending out their mattresses. Craigslist didn't exist yet because the internet didn't exist, you morons. So he went to the nearest auto dealership, bottled the guy in the head. The guy will live, just not the respect the car dealership owner has gone over the 30 years owning the family lot. That respect is deader than disco, and that reference works because it's 1985, you morons. Keith drove to her address, using only his intuition. By being one with the road, Gandhi did that. Gandhi never needed a driver's license because he floated everywhere. That's correct. And I think he was a bald man that did a lot of good things. And that's hard to come by. The only other bald man that does a lot of good things is Joe Rogan's podcast. Check it out. Fantastic. People just knew where they were going back then. They had no internet. Incapable of GPS positioning. Or they could use a map. But why would you use a map? That's how 72% of arguments start, and 100% of those arguments lead to divorce. Wow, is that factually accurate? It probably is. Keith is a potential vengeful murderer. Maybe justified homicide. Justified homicide. Hollywood, are you listening? I got lots of words that make sentences. I'm good for someone. But Keith is a vengeful murderer, not a psychopath. Once he got to the address, he sat in the car and realized he didn't want to startle her. It's been 5 years. Will she even remember someone she bottled and murdered and dumped the body in a lake that didn't exist that long ago? I wouldn't remember that. I don't think people remember that, but maybe they do. We have to find out, so let me get to the story, Uriah. I'm getting to the story. Crow, not right now. I'm smelling a rotten pumpkin here. I gotta get this out of my room. Let's move on.
Hi, I gotta get out of here. I'll leave a note. No. I'll grab a cassette that I recorded on a piece of French bread at the hospital.
That voice really hurts my throat. It makes me think I have COVID. I won't do it anymore, it hurts. Somehow this story has more holes in it than when Susie debated a squirrel on the dynamic duo of the South and North Pacific Seas during the fascist reign of turkeys every Thanksgiving. That was when she was on acid in the episode 1, guys. Come on, keep up. We can't be recapping everything. What is this, every 4 years election where everyone says the same crap? No, we are not a news cycle. We are the Uriah Jokes Podcast. When he was walking to the door, a crowd of people looked at him, and he's like, why is there a crowd of people here? Because there was lemonade for 5 cents, and you can't make money selling lemonade for 5 cents. Maybe in 1985 you could. I didn't even know they had nickels. And about to hit the sidewalk right around the house, a car going nearly 200 miles per hour, so they went back in time and hit him, and he flung like a rag doll into the Susie home decor, and he's like, knock, 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 knock. Susie approached, screaming erratically like she just won a vacuum on The Price is Right. Oh, I won a vacuum on The Price is Right. Oh, I'm on TV. Oh. And that The Price is Right is actually going to be the new way people get welfare because of the coronavirus. Fantastic. You heard it here first. Let's get back to the story. Susie's friend who hit her was also counselor number 2. We're going full circle again. Was an alcoholic enthusiast. Susie's friend was an alcoholic enthusiast and hit him. Keith, dazed. But unlike Ryan Reynolds, not confused. That works. He attempted to leave. All he did was want to leave his cassette. That's all he wanted to do was leave his cassette. He wanted to leave his cassette. But when he was trying to leave, a bottle struck his bow, sending him to the ground once again. Keith now found himself where 12% of all debts to a casino in 1985 were paid, lying buried 2 feet in the desert. Keith, the man, could not believe he was not recognized by either of the 2 counselors. One of those many fleeting, irrelevant thoughts that were now in his head. Even Cassie, the second counselor that I'm just now saying because we just now, oh my god, this pumpkin smells, it's really bad now. Even Cassie didn't remember him, what the hell, but the sound of thunder and then rain made being buried 3 feet deep, but the pools of water falling from the sky in the form of rain made the dirt, mud, and sludge So it was just like going to Fuddruckers on a Tuesday or any day at a Chipotle.